Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Broken Shifter Podcast. I'm here today joined by my friends. I am Herden.
I'm Carbon.
And I'm Caboose.
And we went to the Irish Hills this week of Michigan, where Kyle Larson took it back to victory lane again. He's on fire. So, Carbon's going to take it away since it's his home state.
Yeah, my home track. I'm really mad, though. I had a friend that went there. And he's not a NASCAR fan. And he got the pit pass and everything, so he got to go to both races there. Okay, so we had Stage 1 winner, Martin Truex. Stage 2, Martin Truex. And shockingly, the winner was not Martin Truex. It was Kyle Larson.
And I want to point out one quick thing. Martin Truex now has 10 stage wins throughout the season, which is 20 playoff points, which is a pretty big advantage to the first.
He is in.
First section.
He's beyond in.
I mean,
I think
we
next
know
comes
that.
Kyle Busch with 4. So it's like
I think that you're gonna have to look at Martin Truex as definitely going to the second round of the playoffs because he's got a 20 fucking point head start,
so, yeah.
and he's gonna get more.
And he's already
if not a championship favorite.
How many wins does he have? 2? 1 or 2?
1 or 2.
It's pretty much a battle
I mean, he
between
definitely
him
has
and
a
Larson
win
right now at the top of the leader, or the top of the playoff points.
Kyle Busch is kind of in there. Keselowski was for a while. He just fucking has dropped off the face of the earth.
Chase was there at the beginning.
Speaking of Penske, though, Logano did finish 3rd. He might be finally figuring out whatever issue he had for the last few weeks. Finally has it figured out.
Penske in general, they're not
Keselowski,
dominating like
I don't
they
know
were.
where he placed, but he was up there. I think he was in top 10.
I think for Logano it was more of a psychological thing after what happened a couple weeks back. That was a pretty serious ordeal that happened. So, but with Keselowski, it just seemed like a big case of bad luck. Wrong place, wrong time.
Would you like to describe what you're talking about for the viewers?
Kansas, big accident. Eric Almirola got sent to the hospital. He's on temporary leave. It was just a real big, nasty accident.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know. It was before that though that he was having some issues. Logano was. So I think.
But he was still.
Penske
I think it was
didn't
just
seem
everything
to
wasn't
have
lining up for him.
speed.
He was having issues in the pit, or at his pit stall. He just didn't really seem like he had the car for anything. Kept blowing tires.
Yeah, Penske's been. I mean, it's hard to say you're struggling when you're getting top 10s most of the time, but I think one thing we should look at since we're looking at Penske is Hendrick is just. There's no fucking speed at Hendrick right now. The announcers even touched on it. They're really just Hendrick doesn't have speed anymore.
Mm-mm.
Chase Elliott finished second, but still.
Junior got 9th. I don't know where Junior speed came from at the end though. He was in 20th, I think, with a couple laps to go, and suddenly he was up in 10th.
He went in and took fresh tires.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. Junior, he's had speed all day. He just had problems moving forward, and on the restarts, he just couldn't get going. So he fell back a couple of positions,
he had Casey
picked
Kane
up the
in his
positions
way
he
a lot.
lost. Casey Kane was being a schmuck.
Kept checking up right in front of him. Every time he gets some momentum.
Yeah. I don't think they'll be sharing a beer together anytime soon. No.
Yeah. Herden has an interesting stat about Chase Elliott, though, that he was telling me earlier. I didn't know.
Yeah, Chase
his
Elliott has
second
finished
place finish.
second 3 times in a row at Michigan. And it seems like Chase Elliott is going to wind up finishing
They'd be
his
both nice.
career with more seconds than first.
Yeah, unfortunately. He needs a win.
However, Mark Martin used to finish second an awful lot, and he is a Hall of Fame driver, pretty much. I mean, I don't know if he's been
there's no
inducted
doubt
yet. I'm
Chase
pretty
Elliott's
sure he is.
not a great driver. He's definitely got the talent for it, no doubt, to win. It's just he doesn't have the car to get to first place. He has the car to get himself to second place ahead of everybody else.
Very close.
But he can't break
Very
that second
close.
place spot.
Okay,
Larson
so
just dominated that last couple laps. He was untouchable.
Let's take a tangent here. What track is Chase Elliott going to get his first win at?
I think it's going to be at a plate track.
I think it's going to be the second Michigan race if he gets it this year.
All right, I've got my pick for Chase Elliott winning at Darlington.
I don't know Darlington that well, so.
Darlington's a strange track. Two completely different turns.
It's the track that you extraordinarily hate on NASCAR Heat.
Yeah.
I know what track it is.
On every NASCAR game. Well. Dale Sr. mastered that track.
I've only driven like twice.
You can't be good in both turns. Or both ends of the track, shall I say. All right, carry on.
Oh,
right,
what was that statistic that you found about Danica Patrick in the wall?
Statistic?
Mm-hmm.
It's her new boyfriend.
Oh. It wasn't a statistic.
Because she's always kissing it.
Nah, different one.
Are you talking about the joke? Or the actual statistic? Okay, the joke I saw somebody post. I think it was in reply to one of the YouTube videos that NASCAR posted of the actual incident that we'll get to in a minute when Danica hit the wall. It went something along the lines of Danica has been... It wasn't the word hit, it was something else. It was Danica's basically has been pounded by the inside wall more than Stenhouse has pounded her.
Yeah, that's what I said. She's got a new boyfriend because she keeps kissing the freaking wall. Yeah, I mean, every time she wrecks, it's always that fucking goddamn inside wall. And save for, I think she was in that Logano crash with Almirola.
I guess we'll go to the cautions now. Might as well. We'll come back to Junior in a minute. But, so, we had a few cautions. Some were caused by debris. Like, there was a trash bag that landed. Yeah, most of them were. There was a trash bag that landed on the grill of, was it Larson? That caused him to have to back off. And then there was a beer can on the track. And a straw hat, interestingly enough.
I've seen crazier shit. I can't remember. I think it was at Michigan, in fact. There somehow a fucking groundhog got on the track. I can't remember who saw it. I think it was David Reagan or somebody. He was like, was that a beaver in front of my car?
It wouldn't surprise me, honestly, because when you think about it, the Detroit Red Wings are very well known for people throwing things on the ice.
Yeah, don't they do the octopus
Specifically
shit?
octopus.
Yeah.
The what?
No, but it was funny. It was during practice. But, yeah, a fucking groundhog ran right across the track in front of somebody's car. I can't remember who it was. I can't remember if he hit it or not. I don't think he hit it, but... And it wasn't during the race, but can you imagine that caution for groundhog?
Groundhog saw a shadow.
How the fuck did it get in the damn track?
Justin. The fuck? Justin, with a joke that isn't a pun. That's new.
Oh, yeah. And then we had...
God damn it.
We had... How do you pronounce his name? Sieg? Sieg?
Sieg.
He went into the grass, spinning on turn 4, right in front of Truex. Thought there was going to be a collision there. Truex got lucky and slammed on the brakes.
That was the incident where he kind of got really fucking loose, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was the one in front, right in front of Junior, I think.
No, that was the that was the big incident.
Okay.
We also had Kurt Busch went into the wall. I don't know exactly why. I think he got loose and went straight up to the top. And then the big incident was Blaney got loose, and what you said was the exit turn 2, Kellen?
Yeah, exit turn 2 going down the backstretch. There was an incident.
Yeah, and he ended up just trying to maintain it. He fell back quite a ways back. Ended up like piling it up with Harvick and Suarez going 3 wide, and then
so many bumpers.
Wallace and Danica decided to attempt to go around on the inside while they were all fighting like 3 wide. They're smashing into each other, and Wallace kind of looked like he held off a little bit, and because Suarez all of a sudden came over, clipped his front bumper, Wallace's front bumper, and spun around, slammed into Danica. Danica went off into the wall, and just like she has multiple times this year on the inside wall. And Suarez managed to get himself back on track before the caution was called. But
I don't know.
That was the incident, I think, where Dale Jr. got blocked because he was right behind. Okay. He was behind Jimmy. Jimmy was right behind Suarez.
I don't see Danica coming back next year. If she does, then probably she'll be the next one to retire. She's had very little success. I mean, she's had some good runs. I think Kansas, she was fucking... Dale Jr. was in 4th or 3rd or something like that at Kansas a couple of years ago, and she went flying past him, and he was like, was that Danica?
Yeah. She said before Daytona that if she gets another concussion, she is going to retire.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason Dale Jr. is, not just because of the concussions and the multiple concussions, but also he's married now and he wants to have kids. And if you think about other sports, concussions have forced early retirements for the likes of football players, Troy Aikman, Steve Young. It's more serious than people realize.
Sounds of it lined up, or a couple jobs in talks. He's talking to a couple of
I wouldn't be surprised.
NASCAR boots. And
make a great announcer. Let's get rid of Jeff Gordon and put Dale Jr. in there.
Did you see? I don't know who it was, but somebody replied. I think it was just a random fan. Replied to the post about that on Twitter. They said, Dale Jr. is terrible behind the mic. Why would we want him there? And Dale Jr. replied to it saying, I am? Question mark.
I've heard him announce, I think, 2 races, and they were both Xfinity Series, but no, he's extremely race smart. He knows more about the history of racing than anybody else on that fucking track.
Yeah, and the best part is, he doesn't point out the extremely obvious crap, Jeff.
Yeah, he'll tell you a fun fact that nobody in the fucking crowd even knew. Like Chase Elliott having 3 straight
I would love for
second place finishes
with him.
Yeah, we need to get Michael Waltrip out of the booth too. God,
Dale might be more entertaining to watch next year than this year.
Yeah,
just been irritating this year.
I mean, TV views are already up 66% from last year at this time.
Who was the announcer that got? Who was the announcer that got fired from the NFL? And is being replaced by Tony Romo?
Don't know.
Oh,
I can't remember his fucking name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Was it Phil Simms?
Really annoying. Yeah. No.
Okay.
I don't think it was Phil Simms.
No. I can't remember. Anyways, it's kind of that scenario. Jeff Gordon should have never been in a booth. His voice hurts the ear hole, and all he wants to do is contradict Darrell Waltrip. And I'm like, dude, just fucking stop. I was like, I realized Jeff Gordon can drive the shit out of a car. But he's just not good on a microphone, and I can't help but hear when he's announcing just this whining all the time. And every time Darrell Waltrip says something, Jeff Gordon's going to fucking contradict him.
Okay, yeah, it's Phil Simms. I always get him mixed up with one of the other guys.
Fair enough. All right. So, Dale Jr. got a top 10 finally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, finished 9th. Hopefully,
I feel like he could have done a little better.
Top 5 earlier this season, but
yeah, it's
hopefully
not been a
they
good
keep
year
advertising.
For the idiot.
They keep advertising for Daytona. I keep seeing everywhere for a return of hopefully Junior, but we'll see. I guess.
At this point, Daytona and Talladega are his best shots because Hendrick, like I said, when Jimmy Johnson's not leading constantly, you know something's wrong.
I think it's just
Casey Kane. I still don't understand him. I think it's the chassis. Something's not there with speed it seems like maybe they're figuring the chassis out, but they're sacrificing speed for it. And people going off in their turns at 216, 217. Yeah. They're going off in the corner at 216, 217. You look at Junior going off at 215. I mean, you think 1 mile an hour, 2 miles an hour, that's not that much. It definitely is.
Yeah. And I honestly do think it's the bodies. You take a look, and the Fords and the Yodas are both putting down a lot more downforce.
They're more aerodynamic
than the Chevys are. The Chevys, they've been running this body style since the Gen 6 came out, if I remember correctly. So, we're just...
Go ahead.
Yeah. At this point, Chevrolet, we're just down. We're not out, but we're down.
Can you explain to me how Kyle Larson is so goddamn fast with the same
Jimmy
shit
Johnson, too. I mean, they both have
Jimmy Johnson didn't prove anything at Michigan.
Not at Michigan, but he's
had good years.
Like I don't think it's the body. I think it's something. I think it's a mix of something just isn't caught up anymore with Chevy outside the body, and
it could be the gear ratios that the crew chiefs.
The other thing is McMurray's been consistent too, so it's hard to tell.
McMurray is on a roll. I mean, you don't see him leading, but he's in Kyle Larson's shadow at this point.
Yeah.
But he's
going
been throwing
to get
together
a last-second win here soon.
He's been throwing together top 10s and top 5s like you wouldn't believe. I think it's 6 of his last 7 races or something. He's had top 10s.
The reason I have not removed him from my league.
Yeah. Speaking of,
he's been doing really well for me. Shut up.
I may have won another time on the league this week.
Yep, you're now like 1,500 points out of us, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, our NASCAR league, I'm having threats of people quitting because of how big of a lead I have.
Yeah.
Want to do picks?
Yeah.
Or is there any other discussion in Caboose?
I'm good.
All right. Well, who's going first, Justin? You're fucking hosting the shit. Get on it. Booyah.
Well, then go. How about you go?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Make your picks first.
All right.
Yeah, why not?
Okie doke. All right. I'm going to go with my main pick, Kyle Larson. Can't keep a good man down. Yeah, and California is his home state. So I'm sure he raced at Sonoma growing up at some point. So he's probably familiar with the track. And for my dark horse, since he has not won recently, I'm going with the Dinger.
Dang on nine.
Interesting. Sounds like some good picks.
I think he's from California as well, isn't he?
I'm taking a look at something real quick.
Allmendinger? Yeah, I don't know where he's from. Okay. So my picks are going to be... I think Penske's coming back, and he did really well last year at Sonoma, so I'm going to go with Logano. And then we were just talking about him. He's been doing good all season. So for my dark horse, stick with McMurray.
All right, for the record, Allmendinger is from California. And his only win came at Watkins Glen, a road course. So,
well, there you go.
I'm happy with my Allmendinger pick. I wonder how much he costs on the fantasy league right now. I might swap him out for somebody.
Yeah. Caboose, you got your picks yet?
I got my picks. I was just trying to see where Larson placed last year at Sonoma. But everything's being a piece of garbage and not loading. So,
well, hold on. Wait. You got to remember, Larson did not have as good of a car last year as he does this year. He's winning. He's just dominating everywhere.
Well, you say that, though, but last year he was still running damn well and good. He was running about top 15. Now he's running about top 5.
He's still running give us top 5. It'll still
It'll still give us some sort of an indicator. Because I know he wasn't caught up in a wreck.
Yeah. Well, you got to think he was driving over what his equipment was last year.
Yeah. Still. like I said, it's going to give us an indicator. So, going with my picks.
Tony Stewart.
He's going to come out of retirement. He's going to drive some Hendrick equipment. But no. My picks, my main pick is going to be Denny Hamlin. Toyota is making a comeback. And last year he proved that, he's picking up on the road courses. My dark horse, I'm going to pick him again. It's going to be Michael McDowell. He had a decent run last week. Not phenomenal, but not bad either. But that team has road courses pretty figured out.
Michael McDowell is a road racer.
Yep. So it's not a bad pick. Like he's going to perform very well. I don't know if they'll get the win, but I know they'll perform well.
Yeah. Maybe we need to add a segment in and see where our drivers finish and add that in.
So like a segment at the end of the podcast?
Yeah. So it'd be like at the end of at the end of every podcast, we'll just put a segment in at last week's race. This is where Caboose, Carbon, and Herden finished. And we'll see who sucks and who doesn't.
Hey, I'm the only one who has a win this season from our pick.
I also would like to point out that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is like right now the resurgence of Roush, because granted he got that win. That was kind of strategy, but he got that win, and he's also putting together top 15s every goddamn week, and he's going to the playoffs. And Roush, a couple of years ago, was a major player. It was Hendrick, Roush, and Joe Gibbs were the main three. Penske was okay, but Penske, I think Keselowski might have won the championship that year, but regardless, you had the three main stables, and Roush just has fallen off, and they're making a little bit of a push. I don't think they have the best talent in the world, but they're coming back.
Yeah, I'd be scared to see what Stenhouse would do in Haas equipment. I know Roush is coming back and they are performing well, but...
Well, I saw something earlier on, I think Twitter. Somebody was saying, we wish Kyle Larson was in the 88 next year. And I was like, oh, good God, he'd become the most popular driver ever.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart just said he wants Larson on his team. Kind of a big thing. Larson's definitely becoming like a big face of NASCAR this year.
Yeah. He really is, and he's not racing as rough as he used to. I mean, I know he got a bad rap when he first started for being a very rough racer. At Speed Weeks at Daytona, he wrecked C.E. Falk in his first run at Daytona on the road course, I believe it was. Or maybe it was the infield oval. I can't remember, but C.E. Falk's a hometown boy for me. And he dumped him on the last turn last lap to win the race. And C.E. Falk wasn't real happy with him. He used to be a very rough racer, but he seems to have learned a little bit of finesse. So, yeah, I have no problem with Kyle Larson. But I'm going to say one more thing. Fuck Kyle Busch.
Yeah, he took his own damn self out in an Xfinity race.
If anybody else wants to give a shout out to who they hate, go ahead. Or is it all three of us? Fuck Kyle Busch.
Yeah, just fuck Kyle Busch in general. But no, looking at this, I'm seeing a trend, and it's becoming harder and harder for everyone to pick a new driver.
Yeah.
We got Larson, who's winning now. We got Chase Elliott, who's constantly running second. We got Ty Dillon, who's running well in equipment. He's having problems dialed in, but once it's dialed in, he's running well. And we got Ryan Blaney, who just got his first win last week. So,
and Truex finally has the shit to actually perform.
Yeah. Never had an old
Truex has been a good driver. He just never had the money to do it. When he was with when he was with Michael Waltrip Racing, he didn't have much to work with, and then all of a sudden they had one real good year, and then the whole Richmond incident happened.
Y'all are feeling
and where Clinton Boyer, I remember the incident because I had the headset on when I was at the race, listening to Dale Jr.'s radio, and he spun out right in front of Dale Jr., and Dale Jr. goes, I don't know what just happened, he just fucking went around. And then that's when they allowed Jeff Gordon in, and I think they kicked Truex out. I can't remember if they kicked him out of the playoffs or not, but yeah, it was a whole thing, and that was the end of Michael Waltrip Racing. But yeah, Truex hasn't had a whole lot to work with. At DEI, he was there when they were going downhill, and now he's got the shit to work, and I mean, a lot of people like him. He's a nice guy, he's a likable guy, and I don't know who everybody's driver's going to be next year. I mean, Caboose lost his driver.
Caboose
lost his driver last year.
I'm losing both my drivers within the 2-year span. Tony for the longest time was my number 1. Now he's retired. Dale Jr. for the longest time was my number 2. Now become number 1. And they're like, oh, I'm retiring. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to
I pretty much root for anyone. I pretty much root for anyone who is not Kyle Busch.
An asshole. Or Hamlin.
I don't know. I've personally never had any issues with Hamlin, but I've never seen anything out of him that I haven't had an issue with. But
anyone not driving a JGR car.
I'm sick of seeing Truex winning constantly. I like Truex, but I don't know.
It's too damn fast. I think here, let's add a little extra segment. Justin, you can cut and chop this up if you need to, but let's add a little segment. Okay, well, Caboose, you can cut and chop it. Justin, who's going to be your main driver next year?
I don't know. I seem to be falling on the Chase Elliott train there, but I do I'm not jumping on the Larson train because he's winning constantly, but I do like Larson a lot, and I have since even before he was winning this year.
Mm-hmm.
And Keselowski, I like him too. Just because of what he says outside of NASCAR. Especially when it's directed at Kyle Busch.
Oh, yeah, I gotta love that shit.
So those are my three main. I really don't know which one. Larson's probably my least favorite out of the three, not because of any particular reason. It's just, I don't know. There's no real reason. It's just kind of there.
I don't know. I truly don't know. I like all the new guys. The veterans, there's a lot of veterans I like. I have a hard time picking them because I know they're going to retire soon.
There's some veterans in there that aren't that old. Kyle Busch is one of them.
No.
Go ahead, tell me to fuck off.
Well, I'm
just going to mute you there.
Real quick, I do also want to say, look out for Bowman, because I think he's filling the 88 driver spot.
We'll see how that goes. Hendrick's got to get their shit together. I'll go ahead and say for next year, my driver's going to obviously retire at the end of the year because I'm a Dale Jr. fan. I've stuck by him through thick and thin since he was in freaking Nationwide series. So I've still got AC Delco hat with a 3 on it. Yeah, and apparently I look like him and act like him. And apparently that too. But yeah, I mean, my main driver next year I think is gonna have to be Brad, and I love Brad Keselowski. The way he races old school style. Everybody used to race like that, race hard. Everybody complains about him, but he doesn't put up with bullshit, and I appreciate that. But he doesn't take that not putting up with bullshit to the point where Kyle Busch just intentionally wrecking people under caution. And, of course, Chase Elliott. I love Chase Elliott. I was not a Bill Elliott fan growing up, but I like Chase. I met him a couple of years ago. He's an awesome dude. So, Caboose, pick one. You gotta have one.
I'm gonna pick that one.
He's gonna pick the flag, man.
He's
He
gonna go
never
with Danica
loses.
Patrick.
Exactly.
Even though she's retiring this year.
I'm gonna call it now. She's gonna
Why not
either
Kyle Busch?
retire.
He drives exactly like you.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? I'll drive you.
He
clean,
drives
but if
really
it's
well in
front
the
end,
beginning.
I'll rub you a little
He
bit.
has the car. He has everything set up perfectly, and then at the end,
Blows
fucks
it.
himself over.
Oh, all right.
Pretty
Well,
much how
that's a
most of the
good
NASCAR
stopping
races go.
point. I think that's it for us
Personality-wise,
for the
you're
week,
not blaming.
guys.
Just drive.
We gave you a little extra segment there as to who we're gonna root for next year, and might be slightly biased towards and against in the coming years and races. So this has been the Broken Shifter podcast once again, and as always, I am Herden.
I'm still Carbon.
And I'm the guy that tells Carmen to go fuck himself.
And I am Caboose.
Booyah.
Adios.
Go fuck yourself.